Hello, my name is Candace McDonald. I'm with Crystal Clear Consulting, and today I have some information about completing the Korn Ferry 360 survey. I'll start by providing a brief overview of the Korn Ferry 360. I'll share some information about how to get started in the system, and then we'll take a look at the survey itself. The Korn Ferry 360 is designed to help leaders understand how they are perceived and experienced in the organization. This tool is designed to support leadership development. It is separate from the annual performance evaluation. The Korn Ferry Leadership Architect Competency Library contains 38 competencies. Typically, leaders select between 16 and 20 competencies to be rated on. In the Korn Ferry lexicon, participants are those receiving feedback, raters are those providing feedback. The survey should take about 30 to 45 minutes to complete. Time depends on how many competencies are selected and how much time raters take to write individual comments for each competency. You can save and exit the system at any time if you need to take a break or complete the survey in several sessions. The invitation email you will receive from Korn Ferry will contain a link to the assessment, and it will come from KF Assessment Delivery Global at kornferry.com. If you need technical assistance, please contact the Global Survey Center at surveycenter@kornferry.com or call 612-337-8276. Okay, let's look at how to get started in the system. This is the email notification that you will get. It should look like this. It will provide the name of the survey to complete. It will give you the survey deadline and a click here link, which is unique to you. So you won't need to create a username or password. You just need to click on that link, and that link is not shareable. So anyone else doing the same survey will have their own unique link. You'll receive 2 to 3 survey or email reminders to complete the survey right up until the deadline. When you first get into the Korn Ferry system, you'll have to agree to their privacy policy. There is also a demographic survey. You don't actually have to answer any of the questions on the demographic survey if you don't want to. And then you'll come to this dashboard. If you happen to be doing more than one Korn Ferry 360 survey at a time, you'll see a little box for each person that you are rating. You'll click on the survey that you want to complete first, and that'll take you to the survey. On the first page of the survey, it'll give you an estimate of how long that particular survey is going to take to complete. Each time you hit the next button, the page that you've just completed is saved in the system. So once you're into the survey, what you'll see for each competency is first the title of the competency and then the definition of the competency. Please take the time to read the definition carefully, as this is what you are rating the person on. So you are rating the person on their demonstrated skill with the competency. You have a 5-point Likert scale, and you have the option of don't know. Once you've rated the person on their skill level, you'll also be asked how important is the competency for success in the role. So it's not how important you think it is for this person personally to focus on this competency. It's regardless of who's in the role, how important is this competency for that role? Please respond honestly and candidly, as the more honest and candid you are, the more useful the feedback is. For each of the Likert scales, both the skill rating and the importance rating, you can click on this question mark, which is a help feature, and it'll provide a definition of how Korn Ferry uses the 5-point scales. I highly recommend reading those when you're first starting the survey so that you're familiar with the scale and you know how they're being defined. Again, please use don't know if you have not had the opportunity to observe the person in a situation where this competency would be required or useful. Be aware of a couple of common biases as you're completing the survey. The halo and the horn effect are common biases. The halo effect is where, if you've had one positive interaction or work instance with someone, you generalize all of their competency across unrelated skill areas and assume that they do all of them equally as well. The horn effect is the opposite of that. You have one negative interaction or instance with someone and you generalize that to apply to all of their work areas. You really can only assess a person based on what you've actually witnessed and experienced of them. The leniency bias is where you tend to just inflate ratings for fear of negatively affecting them either personally or in their job status. This leads to much less accurate ratings and less useful data in the 360s. You really are encouraged to use the full 5-point scale in the survey and not just focus on using, say, the top 3 or the middle 3. If you select a 4, which is called talented, or a 5, which is considered a towering strength, an additional pop-up question will appear. And this will ask you if this person potentially overuses the skill. And they'll provide a description of what overuse would look like. Use the 5-point scale to provide your answer to that. And then hit next. For every single competency, you have the opportunity to write some comments. Comments will appear on the report exactly as entered in this box. There's no editing or translating of the comments. So some comments on comments. To provide really constructive and useful feedback in your comments section, it's helpful to provide concrete examples of how the person has demonstrated the competency being rated. And you want to use examples that mirror the level of the rating, the Likert rating that you've given them. Factual feedback is more helpful than opinion-based feedback. So, for example, a fact would be this person regularly seeks out feedback on their supervision and decision-making. They demonstrate an openness to constructive feedback, and they make positive changes. That's more factual, it's more concrete, based on behaviors that the person is actually doing. An opinion-based comment would be, this is the best boss I've ever had. They make coming to work something to look forward to. Comment like that, while it might be, sort of boost the person up, it doesn't provide them with anything concrete that they understand. What is it that I do that makes me the best boss that you've ever had? Or why do I make work something to look forward to? Remember again, comments will be shown verbatim, exactly as you've written them. If you are the person's manager, your comments will be called out as comments from the manager. If you are not the person's manager, your comment will be grouped together in a category called all other raters to protect your anonymity. As you're progressing through the survey, you can follow this blue bar at the bottom of the page to track your progress. If you want to go back and look at competencies you've already completed, you can use this menu button here to scroll back and review responses. The save and exit button in the upper right-hand corner is what you need to hit in order to leave the survey and come back later. Once you've completed all the competencies, you'll see another list of behaviors called stallers and stoppers. These are negative behaviors that you don't want to see. Again, you will see the title of the staller and stopper. You'll see a definition. Take your time to read the definition closely. And then you'll be asked to rate the behavior of the demonstration of the staller and stopper on a 5-point Likert scale. Similar to the importance to the role, you'll be asked about harmfulness to the role, and you'll be asked to, on a 5-point scale, rate that. So as with the competency ratings, please take the time to read the scale definitions particularly because we're talking about negative behaviors here. You want to make sure you understand how 1 through 5 are being defined. Again, you can use don't know if you really don't know how the person performs on this dollar stopper. At the end of the survey, you'll have this summary page. This page provides pretty much everything you need to complete the survey, to review and adjust the survey. So you can adjust the importance rating, you can adjust your 5-point scale rating, you can just change from don't know to a scale or from scale to don't know. If you want to review the definition of a competency again, you can click on the help button to get that. If you select a 4 or a 5, if you change your score to a 4 or a 5, you'll be asked that overuse question again. You'll be able to review your comments here. So this summary page is very useful for just going back over it and making sure everything's exactly as you want it to be. Similarly, there's a summary page for the stallers and stoppers. And finally, please don't forget to hit submit at the end of the survey. Until you hit submit, the information has not been sent to Korn Ferry. So you hit the submit and the data goes to Korn Ferry and gets included in the report. Once you've hit submit, you'll be taken back to that initial dashboard page. If you happen to be doing another survey, you'll see that there. Again, if you need technical assistance, contact the Global Survey Center at surveycenter@kornferry.com or call 612-337-8276. And thank you for your time, and thank you for providing your honest and candid feedback.